What's up, everybody? Back today with another movie for you, and it's going to be Bite from 2015. I think it was just recently released on VOD. I don't know, I just barely saw it, so let's get into it a little bit. It's from director-writer Chad Archibald, and he did a film I reviewed before called Ejecta. And both films kind of fall into the same category. You know they're bad, but they're still entertaining. Yeah, he did Ejecta and The Drownsman. I haven't seen that film, but I did see it at Walmart in the shelves, so whatever. Okay, let's get into Bite a little bit. It's about this girl that is on her bachelorette party. It starts off there, I think they're in Costa Rica or something, and she winds up getting this bite. And, you know, it's, of course, the joke is, oh, it's just a little bug bite. And then, you know, we've seen movies like this recently. Contracted is one I reviewed, and Thanatomorphos was another one I reviewed, where, you know, basically they get the bite, or, you know, something happens to them and they just deteriorate from there. So she gets the bug bite, comes home, she's supposed to be getting married, she's all distressed from her wedding and planning and all that, and plus this bite, which is getting worse and worse, and she starts kind of transforming, and it basically gets down to like a body horror. And so let's talk about the good and the bad. First of all, like I said, entertained, so that's always a plus. The film wasn't exactly short, kind of long for my taste, but like I said, I still liked it. I don't know, just a little extra twist. There's a few little bits to the story that I'm not saying that relate to her wedding and all that. To see her slowly transform, there's enough gore in it, I think, to keep you interested. They have this cool little effect. They use like little tapioca balls or something to create this effect, like she's laying all these thousands of eggs. And I mean, it's a little overused, I'll say that. That's one thing you get the point across about the tapioca eggs, definitely. Yes, there's something in the eggs. Yes, there's a lot of the eggs. There is one little kill that is kind of like a mild melt scene also, where she gets someone in the face, and I kind of like that. So, you know, this film is like a cross between, like the films I mentioned before, Thanatomorphos, Contracted. It's a little more like Contracted. I would say not as sympathetic as Contracted, because I like the female character in Contracted better, but not as weird as Thanatomorphos, and a little bit like Cronenberg's The Fly. Definitely body horror, you know, the transformation, I'm stuck in my apartment type crap. So, for some reason, I did like it. Let's get into the bad. Like I said, I know there's a lot wrong with this movie, but I still find it entertaining. Just like Ejecta. When I watched Ejecta, I was like, you know, that's not a very good movie, but it was pretty freaking entertaining. It stuck with me till today, so I was kind of happy, actually, when I read that it was the same director. So let's get into the bad parts. The makeup is pretty hit or miss. There's a part at the beginning where she first starts transforming, and, you know, you could just see the stuff caked on her face, and then at her hairline, you can see where her skin's not white. So I was like, that was just bad makeup. Some of the effects later when she's transforming more and more, like I said, hit or miss. I did like kind of the idea they tried to do, but now that I think about it a little more, I was more into it when I was watching the film. Now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, those effects were pretty cheesy. But like I said, still enjoyed it overall. The creature ultimately kind of pissed me off, because when she originally gets the bug bite, she's in one environment. She's at like this pond or whatever, and they allude that she got bit in the pond. You know, cut to towards the end of the movie, her little eggs, and the creature's completely different. It's like airborne. So I'm like, one looked like it was waterborne, and then at the end of the movie it was airborne. I know bugs can transform and, you know, all kinds of stuff like that, but it just kind of pisses me off, and the more I think about it, I'm like, that just annoys me. It's one of those things that's going to annoy me about this film, because it should have been, I think, a water creature, but at the end it's not a water creature, and I was like, that's kind of stupid. Yeah, and then the logo, this is another nitpick, but it looks like it was cut out of construction paper, like bad white construction paper. I was like, you know, oh, it's just a little bug bite, and then boom, logo, cut out of construction paper. I know, maybe it was supposed to be a little messy, like a bug, you know, and this, of course, you know, her whole apartment goes all crazy and all that. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's, you know, like I've said this a million times in all my videos, you've all seen it before, but you've all seen it before, basically. So I'm going to give Bite a 3 out of 5, and it's barely a 3 out of 5. Like I said, you know the film's bad, but it's still enjoyable. That's the best way to describe it. Bad, but enjoyable. So, you know, usually if they're worth watching, I'll give them a 3, so it gets a 3. Barely, though. Barely a 3. It's almost not a 3. So, alright. If you've seen Bite, comment down below. Tell me what you thought, and let me know down below. Bye.